Hello, welcome to How to Survive in a Bad Economy
with our host, Charlie Grant.
Speaker, trainer, and author.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of How to Survive in a Bad Economy. I'm your host, Charlie Grant. Our co-host for today's show will be Ulysses Cooper, Ferris State University. Kevin Logan, Bowie State University. And Matthew C. Horn, Coastal Carolina University. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very exciting show for you today. We're going to share with you strategies, techniques, and tips on how to survive, thrive, but keep that dream alive in these economic times. It's time to utilize your gifts and your talents and understand your purpose, your power, and your passion, and then you can cash in. Even in economic times like these, you must use that talent. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about today the game of life. Yes, you see this ball? Every game, normally they have a ball. And the only way you can win in life, just like in a game of football, you must score. So to score, it's time to put on the jersey. You got to get out on the field. Stop listening to everybody else. Stop being on the sideline. It's time for you, my friends, to get the ball and see how you can get ahead. Whatever type of yardage you need, because the key is to get to the goal line to score in these economic times. So I want you to just sit back, relax, buckle up, because we're going to have a great time, a great show. Go call the grandmamas, go call the mamas, go call your friends, because after the next selection, we're going to talk about how you can score in the game of life. Don't you go anywhere. Welcome back to How to Survive in a Bad Economy. Our goal today, once again, is to share with you strategies, techniques, and tips on how to survive, thrive, but keep that dream alive in these economic times. Today, we're going to be talking about the game of life. The game of life. And in the game of life, you must have the ball if you want to score in the game of life. Our co-host for today's show will be Kevin Logan, motivational speaker, trainer, and youth advocate. Also, we have Matthew C. Horn, motivational speaker, trainer, and author. And to my right, Ulysses Cooper, motivational speaker, trainer, and real estate tycoon. And myself, Charlie Grant, motivational speaker, trainer, and author. Let's get right down to it, gentlemen. We're talking about the game of life today. So we have the pill, which is called the ball, because we want to be in the game of life. You have to be in that game, ladies and gentlemen. You have to get on the field. You have to put on the jersey, because you have to score. You must play the game if you want to win. You cannot, in an economy like this, afford to be on the sideline. The key to any game, you must have the ball if you want to win. And to win in this type of economy, with houses being repossessed, cars being snatched, jobs being lost, we must grab the ball every chance we get. Gentlemen, let's talk about how do we develop strategies, or what can we do in an economy like this to move forward, to grasp that American dream still, even in tight economic times. Kevin, you being the guru with our young people, what would be a strategy if you had the ball for our young people?
Is know where you are and what you have. The ball is something precious. Without the ball, you can cross any goal line, but you're not going to score.
That's right.
So you need to make sure that when you're crossing the goal line, you have the things that you need that can help you score, that adds value. For instance, I'm standing on this side now.
Okay.
However, if I move to a different position, I can add value to myself. I can add more worth to myself depending on where I move.
That's right.
games are played in different stadiums all across the world. So when you play those games, the goal line doesn't change. It's the same distance from one end to the other end.
Right.
So when your environment changes, you have to make sure that you're paired up and you've got what it takes to go out there and score so that you can have the business and live the dreams that you want to live.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, I like that. I like that. Ulysses, in the game of life, we know what really started this economy trickling down like this, ladies and gentlemen. It was real estate. Once upon a time, I used to say I had a date with a steak and a plate, and I couldn't be late. But now, too, this is the man. He's going to share with you about real estate. Cuba, what's a great technique? Or tell us a little something about foreclosures in this game called life if you had the ball.
Well, foreclosure, Charlie, basically, if it's almost like fumbling the ball.
Okay.
See, we might fumble the ball, but it's okay.
That's right.
You might went through a foreclosure. You might went through a bankruptcy. Pick up the ball. Keep on rolling with it. It's okay to have a foreclosure.
All right.
Just keep on moving. Pick up the ball, recover the ball, and you can score.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, this ball is very essential, ladies and gentlemen. You must have the ball in the game of life. Matthew C. Horn, great author. In a game of life like this, I know so many people are still at home. A lot of people might not have the jobs they had, but there's so much they can still be doing with their time. Like an author like you, maybe they could be writing a book or something. If you had the ball in a game of life, what would you do, sir?
If I had the ball in the game of life, I would just get started. I wouldn't wait for a perfect moment.
All right, all right.
I would create my own perfect moment by just getting started.
Yes.
This is a beautiful game, the game of football as well as the game of life. But the two differences in a traditional game of football, you have to go through scouting,
That's right.
you have to go through tryouts, and there are more barriers the higher the levels that you want to play at.
That's right.
But in this game of life, you are your only commodity.
That's right.
You don't have to jump through any barriers. You can get started the minute that you declare that you're ready.
That's right.
And what I would do as far as writing a book is I would just be still within myself and develop a title.
Okay. All
What drives me? What motivates me? What do I have to share with the world? That's the first thing that I would do. And then I would create an outline.
Okay.
And I would create bullet points under each chapter about what I wanted to write about. And in that way, the book will write itself. You can be focused because it's easier to make strides when you start off with a very precise game plan.
That's right.
So I would outline it. And the last thing that I would do is, this is a power strategy right here.
Okay.
I would find an author in the genre that I want to go in who's the best.
There you go. There you go.
And I say this because it's one thing to go out and get general information. General information leaves the option to either hit or miss.
That's right. That's right.
I would go find someone who's where I want to be because then I can find a philosophy.
That's right.
A philosophy is potent information with no guesswork involved. A philosophy will allow you to take strides, while information will just allow you to take steps.
All right. Fantastic. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard some powerful stuff, See, in the game of life, and as Matthew said earlier in the game of life, you want to go to the top. Even in the football like this, hey, we probably be trying to get with the Pittsburgh Steelers, hey, New England Patriots. Hey, we want to go to the winner because, success leaves what? Clues all the time, ladies and gentlemen. And if it was me, if I had the ball like this, if I had that ball, there's so many of you out there in economic times like this who don't have a job for some reason or another. You might have got downsized, right-sized, re-engineered. But the bottom line, you do have a skill. You do have talent. Somebody in your family might have said, hey, get out there and get you a job. All you're doing in here running your mouth. Stop talking so much. But guess what? You could turn that nothing into something. Maybe you talk so much because maybe that's your skill. You might have the talent to be a motivational speaker. Turn that energy into something positive. Go out. Find out how maybe you can be a speaker and teach. Take some courses. Maybe you want to start off in something like Toastmasters or NSA, National Speakers Association. See if you can speak at your church or down at the local boys club, somewhere where you can still make money for speaking. Although a family member might see it as, hey, you running your mouth too much, you talk too much, but maybe that's your talent, that's your gift, that's your ticket, ladies and gentlemen. But you need the ball to score in this game called life. Kevin, dealing with the young folk and developing a business in this game called life in these economic times, what are some of the other ways, or give us an example of maybe a business for youth in economic times like this, if you had the ball, sir?
Well, I'm fortunate to be around a lot of individuals who have the ball and they're doing great things with it.
Great, great.
One particular individual is an artist. They do a lot of drawing. A lot of individuals like to write poetry. And so you can take those skills and you can line your poetry up on a picture, something that motivates you. Or you can take your drawings that you do and frame them and go sell them.
right.
They're uniquely yours. The one thing that every youth experiences every day is a different environment.
Okay.
They leave their house, they go to school,
Right.
they're in different places, and there needs to be met in all those places. They just sit back, they see what needs to be met, and they start their creative juices flowing to start different businesses.
That's right.
They meet the needs of the people.
Fantastic.
You said one thing that I really liked, and it talked about the experience. You can always take your experience and go out and teach it to somebody else,
right,
because there's
that's right.
someone else always younger than you that wants to get where you are, and oftentimes there are people that are older than you that wish they had have taken that step.
big time,
So
big time.
therefore, you can inspire them by inspiring others.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I like that. Brother Cooper, you've been a real estate tycoon. Tell the viewership, tell the listening audience, how can we make some money in economic times like these in real estate if you had the ball?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Charlie. This is the perfect time to
right.
make some money in real estate. See, the price of real estate is at an all-time low.
That's right. That's right.
The interest rate is at an all-time low. It's time to make some money.
that's right.
See, you can purchase a property almost as little as nothing. And investors are buying up a whole lot of property.
Yes.
So this is the perfect time. And see, the mindset you want to have when you make an investment, instead of being capital gain orientated,
Okay.
be cash flow orientated.
Okay. I like that.
That's the way you want to go.
All right. All
because
right.
back in 2007, most people, they invest for capital gain.
Yeah.
No, don't invest for capital gain. Invest for cash flow.
That's right.
For instance, if you purchase a house and you know the mortgage is $1,000, but you know you can get $1,500 of rent.
Okay. Okay.
$500. That's the cash flow.
Cash flow.
And cash flow will make you flow to the next level.
All right, all right.
Back to you,
Hey, I
Charlie.
like that. I like that, ladies and gentlemen. He talked about cash flow because you must understand, ladies and gentlemen, without this ball, it's difficult to get the cash. But guess what? Cash is king, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, cash is king. I really like that. And Matthew, we're going to hear talk about some cash. Matthew, the great author, we talking about cash flow. Cash, once they develop that book, Matthew, how? What are some of the techniques, the marketing strategies or something where they can take that book that they've written and start making some money in economic times like this? Let us know if you had the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, what I would do to begin making money in economic times as these with my book is I would go the social networking route.
Okay, all right.
The beautiful thing about marketing these days is that it's 100% free if you do it the right way.
Okay.
And it's more profitable than ever because social networking gives you an array of people, an audience like nothing we've ever experienced before in any age. So what I would do, I would go on the different Twitters, the Facebooks, and things of that nature, and I would find groups who are interested in the genre that I read. And I would cater to them, I would market to them. And I would get my books out in libraries. People don't know, libraries buy books in droves.
Yes.
And the main thing I would do, I wouldn't think in terms of individual sales. I would say, how can I sell books in bulk?
That's right.
And that's what it's about.
That's right.
And I would also, if you write a good book, people will ask you to speak on your book as well.
That's right.
And that's where the real money is made. You make really good money with your book, but if you can articulate your message, so when you're writing your book, practice getting in front of that mirror and speaking about the powerful strategies that are in the book.
That's right. That's right.
And when you get on the speaking circuit, then that's when you're really going to maximize the material and the capital gains that are in your book.
Phew, I like that. I like that. And just to piggyback off Matthew, he's talking about all them great streams of income. And I was talking earlier about speaking. If we put those two together, just like he said, you can have a strategy. Maybe you want multiple streams of income. You can start off with one stream of income on that book. Your first stream of income might be, hey, just selling the book. That's one stream. But see, you must understand, ladies and gentlemen, your book is your hook. Yes, your book is your hook.